look at this. Look at these crypto fucking con artists, Cointelegraph, trying to brainwash parents, right? To brainwash their kids to get them into crypto. How to teach cryptocurrency to your children. And no one calls this shit out. These people should be fucking lined up and fucking taken care of. These crypto fucking maniac scammers. And of course, they're too fucking stupid to see that they're the minions. They're not making the fucking money. The guys, the Horowitzes and the Rubensteins are making all the fucking money. Those are the guys that run the goddamn exchanges, you stupid fucking idiots. Got it? Those are the guys creating all the fake trades, all the fake volume, creating all the fake bid and ask. You got it? Andreessen, Horowitz, all these other fucking VC guys, right? I did an article, exposed all that shit. And it's funny, you hear all these stupid fucking idiots. And the crypto people may be almost as stupid as the gold pumpers. And we're talking the dumbest of the dumb. The typical IQ, let's say, of these gold people, these gold bugs, you're talking about typically very uneducated, very fucking stupid idiots that listen to conspiracies, that follow Alex Jones and Peter Schiff, and they can't spot basic charlatans. The crypto people aren't really much better off, to be honest. Not much better. So they don't even realize when you tell them that the crypto industry is mainly run by Wall Street, they get pissed off. No, it's not. It's ours. It's decentralized. No, it's not, you dumbass. If it's going through an exchange, it's not decentralized, you stupid fucking idiot. Folks, this is why nobody will dare. And I'm not talking about some little fucking bitch, some little simp incel bitch. I'm talking about somebody, a top-level guy. They'll never fucking come across me. They'll never fucking come one-on-one neutral platform. Because I'm the big swinging dick. They can't fucking handle me. You know why? Because they're frauds. The guys that are legit out there, you don't hear about. They're not out there fucking marketing. The guys that are out there marketing their ass off, they're out marketing to sell your ass, your dumb ass. They're sucking the money from you stupid idiots. That's why just about everybody out there that's marketing themselves is a scammer. That's what it's come out to these days. Everybody out there blabbering all the time, got something to sell you. They're scammers. That's right. Guys that are producing real value aren't out there blabbering, trying to lure in all the stupid idiots. They've got real value, and they have real, legitimate customers. You know, kind of like moi, which is why I never went on fucking ScamTube, even though I knew about it when it was launched almost 20 fucking years ago, because I saw the stupidity on the platform. YouTube is a scam platform, and every single person that has a channel that's monetized is a scammer. That's a fact. That's a fact. Write it the fuck down. I've already explained this before. I'm not going to go into it. I'll just go ahead and mention some of those people out there. They're just beginning. They're starting their channel. They're not scamming yet. They're going to grow it, and then they're going to start scamming, right? Then they're going to start scamming. And ScamTube has been designed, been created just like all these other tribal fucking internet scam portals run by the goddamn criminal fucking mafia that's ruined the Western world. You know who I'm talking about. Completely fucking ruined the Western world. These criminally insane parasites. It's a fucking mafia. You know who they are. It's the Gary Genslers of the world. You know? The Dave Rubins. You know? The Joe Rogans. You know? They all work in a big fucking circle jerk. And they fucked all you people. Where is Mr. fucking Mangione? Luigi, we need more Mangiones. But no. You see, that's, you know, the sad reality is that this is, when you saw the Occupy Wall Street, well, most of you fucking kids when your goddamn diapers back then. You don't have a clue what the fuck's going on. Of course, you all think you know everything. Oh, he thinks I don't know because I'm young. Yeah, you don't know because you're young. You don't have any experience, no perspective. Your fucking brain hasn't even fully developed. It doesn't even develop until you're around 30, 28 to 30. You didn't know that, did you? That's average. And some fuckers out there, their brain never really develops fully. And you think spending time online is going to help your brain develop? It's going to turn your brain into fucking mush. That's why you're all on ScamTube, following all these fucking scammers. Show me somebody that's not a scammer. Okay? I mean, when you have people, this guy's got 300,000 followers. You got people that listen to this brain-dead fucking scam artist, pathological liar. People on YouTube are mentally fucking impaired. The YouTube audience is severely mentally fucking impaired. It's shocking. So let's start here. I got a big fucking roundup today, a big lineup today. So many fucking scammers to talk about. Once again, I just want to let you all know, the public out there, if you're not in my realm, in my sphere, with people who are, getting my insights, typically people who know what's going on with me, they know how credible I am. And you've come across some of this stuff more than once. Once, okay, twice, you get a pass. But if you've come across my stuff, and listen, if you don't think what I'm saying is valid or true, get the fuck out of here. What the fuck are you doing here? Okay? If you know the deal, and that is what I say is fact, why aren't you spreading the fucking word? Why aren't you engaging in the fucking comment section? You're fucking useless. That's what I say. You're goddamn useless. Of course, you got people that come around, listen, because they want to steal my ideas. They want talking points because they're too fucking stupid. That's the reality. So, big lineup today. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't know. I mean, there's so many people to talk about. Each one needs their own 2 or 3 hour session, but I just don't have the fucking time. I just don't have the time. So I'm going to have to do a kind of a rundown, a quick overview of all these fuckers. And let me remind you, here's the phone number here for you lazy motherfuckers for the Federal Trade Commission. Every single person on ScamTube that's posting affiliate links without a proper FTC affiliate disclosure is breaking federal law. And the FTC laws are global. It's got worldwide jurisdiction. You know why? Because they're posting their bullshit. They're breaking the law on a worldwide platform that's governed by U.S. authorities. The big fucking dogs. Okay? Call in. And you know who started a lot of this shit. It's this fucking... Well, I don't know if I can say it on SimTube. SimTube, you can't say that. It's rude. This Casey Neistat, I wanted to refer to his physical appearance, but I can't do that. This motherfucking con man was one of the first guys posting affiliate links without disclosure, and you have all these YouTube losers who, for some reason, I like Casey. I like Casey. Yeah, he's my favorite. Yeah, this guy's a fucking idiot. He's an idiot. I mean, of course, these are people that were following people playing video games on YouTube. Most of you fuckers, you watch people playing video games. I mean, there's something wrong with you people. Something is wrong with your fucking heads. Really. Here's the number. Any scammer, call them up, report them. Okay. Take a phone call. Okay. Give them your name. Give them your name. Give them your contact info. Okay. Do that. If you want it to be taken seriously. Tom Nash, Kevin Pathrath, All these guys. Larry Jones. Of course, I did a video on Larry Jones. Or not did it. I actually re-released it. I found some videos. And people are giving me videos, actually, as well. Old videos that were from the channel that was taken down. These are videos from 2022 on Larry Jones. Another one's coming out tomorrow. So they were already done a long time ago, as was the Joseph Carlson one. And so, once again, folks, it's quite easy. All you got to do is look at the circle jerk, and you can spot all the con artists, the contrarian indicators, the frauds. It's easy. Once you achieve a certain level of understanding and identification of the methods, the means, the motives, and the individuals, it's quite fucking easy. For someone like me, it's a goddamn hop, skip, and a jump. I can do it while I'm fucking drunk, because I've been doing this for the better part of 20 years. Nobody has been doing what I've been doing in the world, okay, in terms of this stuff. I mean, there's nobody even close. My Wall Street research, yeah, there's some people probably somewhere close, just because there's so many people doing it, and there's money attached to it, right? But what I'm doing not only takes expertise and understanding, but there's no money involved, so there's no real incentive for people to even do what I'm doing, right? Well, there is money involved, actually, if you pretend. You do you pretend to expose stuff and you don't really do it, but you claim you do. You pretend to expose things that have already been exposed, obvious scams. And you do that to serve as a useful idiot, right? And you tag ads to it. So you're making money pretending to be a scam detective, right? In reality, you're making money promoting scammers and scam ads because you're a business partner, right? You're monetizing your channel, and your channel has scam ads on it, you see? You know who I'm talking about, of course. All these little fake detective guys, right? So, I could talk about Robert Kiyosaki for hours upon hours if I wanted to. And it's funny. I mean, people are so stupid, and I'm just gonna actually have I have somebody doing my channel. One of my employees. I'll probably just tell them just to not even publish any stupid fucking comments. It's just a waste of our time. Listen, here's how it works. Here's how it works. Okay, I'm the fucking expert. You got it? I'm the expert. I don't talk about things that I'm not an expert in unless it's kind of known, it's an opinion, it's just kind of a coffee table discussion. You know why? Because what I do, what I've been doing for decades is an analyst, as an expert. Okay, so when I talk about stuff, I know what the fuck I'm talking about. You got it? So when I come out and tell you that Catherine Austin Fitts is a fucking COVID disinfo con artist and crackpot, gold pumping fraudster and scammer and bullshit artist, when I come out and say that, that's the word. Now, I don't care if you agree or not, but you don't come on my fucking channel and tell me, oh no, you got it wrong, she's right. Shut your fucking mouth. You're an idiot. Tell me who the fuck you are. Where did you go to school? What's your expertise? What's your fucking IQ? What's your track record? What's your credibility? Shut your fucking mouth. You're a nobody. You got it? That's why I say, folks, people on my level, let's go. Come on, let's go. You on my level? Let's fucking go. You won't do it because you're probably a scammer. If you're disagreeing with me and you claim to be on my level when I expose all these scammers and fraud, then I have to believe that you're definitely a fraud. Because if you're on my level, then you know these people are frauds. You don't have to be on my fucking level to know they're frauds. It's fucking obvious unless you're brain fucking dead, which much of the YouTube audience, unfortunately, and I feel bad for you. Yeah, that's what you are. Now, to put it into proper context, FYI, we have to remember that not everybody, the ScamTube audience, they're not all, from the West. You've got people from developing countries, which are generally going to have inferior educational systems, and therefore they're going to be a little more naive. In addition to that, they're not used to the modern day high-tech type of scams from the West. So, they get fooled easily. So let's begin. Just checking this out here. And so, this is a good one here. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and mention this right now, actually. So we're going to get to the chase, cut to the chase here, because it's got a lot of people. I mean, obviously, you all should know. People that know me know I've been talking about exposing these fucking fraudsters. You can pretty much probably come out and mention someone who's, obviously I don't know the story on all the scammers because there's fucking millions of them. But you can pretty much come out and mention, some of the big scammers, and I'm probably 90% sure I'll know the song and dance pretty well. But let me just go ahead and show you this image here, because I'm going to talk about this later if I remember. And that is, I've talked about this. This is one of my annotated images, of course, over 10,000 in the image library on my website. That's restricted. Very valuable. I mean, you can imagine having images like just exposing all the bullshit. It's pretty valuable. But so here's the situation. Okay, take a look at Jim Rogers, and I've already exposed this fucking fraudster before. And by the way, let me just remind everybody, and I should do this every time. I should remind everyone of the reality. Large corporations are not your friend. They're your fucking enemy. They want to fuck you. They want to defraud you. They want to fuck you. They're not your friend. None of these fucking corporations. They're evil, scammy pieces of shit. And if you don't think so, if you don't understand that, you got a lot to fucking learn. Okay? A lot to fucking learn. Ted Kaczynski was a fucking hero. Okay? Ted Kaczynski was a fucking hero. Obviously, Mr. Luigi Mangione, being a young guy, obviously, he knows what's going on. He sees what's going on to an extent that he did what he did. That tells you, okay, something, when people do things like that, there is something going on. There's something wrong with the system. There's something wrong. And I'll tell you right now, things aren't going to change unless people get out and do something. Because why do you think people are being more screwed? They're feeling more and more trapped, more enslaved every fucking year. Things are less affordable. They feel like they have less opportunity. Why? It's the corporate giants, ladies and gentlemen. It's the and I wrote about this shit. It was exemplified in my book 20 years ago, America's Financial Apocalypse, when I detailed the impact of America's trade policy. Treasonous bastards from corporate America, Wall Street, and Washington for the past 30 years plus. All of them, if I was running the country, they would be in fucking prison for life for committing treason against the American people. Why aren't you hearing this anywhere? Is this radical? I don't think it's radical. Do you all understand that prior to the expansion of this parasitic, demonic, destructive trade policy that was essentially created by the U.S., right? And I say prior to the expansion because it's expanding. Europe, you're seeing it now in Asia. Japan has to outsource, right? They didn't want to do that. My point is that these countries are all being forced to do it now because they're in this system. There's still countries that don't do it. Brazil still doesn't do it. They're going to be forced to do it. Ask yourself, what people of a country would allow political leaders to permit corporations, largely which were built on the fucking backs of the citizens of that country through taxpayer revenues and many other things, including the education system that the people building those corporations, working at those corporations were funded by. Who would allow those corporations to send jobs to other countries? If you did that, I mean, you all understand, even today in 2025, even with all the expansion of free trade, scam trade, even with that expansion, do you understand that if you did that, if you tried to do that in many of these Latin American countries and many of these Asian countries, people would fucking protest on the street. They would burn the fucking streets down. Do you all understand that? It seems like Americans don't understand anything. They don't know what the fuck is going on. And they don't understand these things. All they understand is they think that their country is the worst in the world and everything is the worst in America and they want to escape. And so they listen to scam artist frauds like Andrew Henderson, Nomad Capitalist, who tells you to move to fucking Colombia. Are you fucking stupid? Are you fucking stupid? And I'll address that motherfucker again here shortly. But just remember, folks, corporate America is your fucking enemy. They are your enemy. You think Facebook is your friend? They're the devil. Mark Zuckerberg. I mean, folks, really, by now, if you believe Donald Trump, you are officially stupid. Remember, I'm not coming from a political slant here. I don't vote. Idiots vote in America. Okay? There's no fucking choice. So the typical response, oh, you're liberal. Oh, that's the stupid logic that the people have these days, right? They can't fathom any possibility that someone just may be speaking the truth without any type of agenda, without any type of political agenda. You see, because why? Well, because every time something happens, what do you see? People writing comments. Oh, it's liberals. Even stupid stuff that doesn't even have anything to do with politics. That when you see that, you know a population is under complete mind control, by the way. I'm sure you all have seen that, right? They everything is, one side or the other. Fucking idiots. Americans are the most fucking they're the people under the most mind control of anybody in the world. Let me rephrase. Americans are under the greatest extent of mind control than any other population in the world. That is a fact. That is a fact. Now, don't agree with me? Find somebody who you think is an expert in that, and let's go. Americans are under the most mind control of any other country in the world. Absolute fucking mind control. Okay, and they don't even realize it, of course. So, let me get back to Jimmy here, and let me just mention, by the way, it shouldn't be too long. I mean, maybe 2025, 2026, maybe we can celebrate the year of the final passing of guys like Jim Rogers, Doug Casey, Eric Sprott, these scumbag pieces of trash that have defrauded people, scammed people for decades. I'll be celebrating when they're fucking 6 feet under. But you've got, it's amazing in this world today of the internet, the biggest scammers have the biggest followings. There's something about the scammers that they create cults. Like, I get zero support from even people who fucking know I'm the real fucking deal. Meanwhile, scammers, people will take a bullet for them. Great example. Irwin Schiff, Peter Schiff's dad, who lived a life of lifelong fucking con man. Absolute fraud. I mean, a total piece of shit, Peter Schiff's dad. And I must add that, clearly the apple does not fall far from the goddamn tree. Right? Peter Schiff ain't a whole lot better. He ain't a whole lot better. I would have to believe that Peter Schiff doesn't go to the extent that his dad does, because Peter saw that his dad went to fucking prison. So Peter wants to kind of play, he doesn't want to do the same things the same way. There's ways that you can scam people, deceive people, make money through deceit. Kind of not legally, but not illegally. You know what I'm saying? But you had this guy, Irwin Schiff, who basically funded his whole family, including Peter Schiff, his whole life, education, funded his family, doing what? Somebody go call fucking Peter over here. Peter's he's afraid of me. He's scared as shit. All these fuckers are scared of me. All these guys, they got all these followings and all these big they're scared of me. Worst thing that can happen to them, because you see all these, they make their money through deception. And, swindling their fucking cult with disinformation, you see. So the worst thing that can happen to them is to be confronted and exposed. But you see what they don't really, they're actually stupid. Like, these guys are too dumb to even realize their cult is so stupid it doesn't matter if they're exposed. Their cult is so far deep, you can't expose them. They won't believe anything. They'll brush it off. That's how bad it is. But these fuckers, they know they don't want to go up against the truth. And that's what I represent. I got their fucking number. All of them. Okay? But Schiff's dad was going around for decades, before the internet, little lecture circuit, having these little boiler room little meetings. You can only imagine how they were marketed, through the radio or something. Kind of like Dr. Wallach, Dr. Wallach. The guys who call themselves doctors these days, most of them seem like they're not real fucking doctors. They're like veterinarians and shit, chiropractors. If you're not an MD, you're not a fucking, don't call yourself doctor. You're just telling everyone that you're a scammer and you want to scam them. That's that simple. Dr. Wallach, I think he was like a veterinarian or something like that. Longevity, I exposed that fraud 15 years ago. Alex Jones was pumping that shit, multi-level marketing, nutritional supplement bullshit. That's where the Tangy Tangerine came from, by the way. But anyway, I mention that because, that's what this Wallach does, is he'll buy a little ad time on radio stations, and he's going to announce his little meeting when he comes to a city near you. How do I know? Because I fucking heard it on the radio a long time ago. So you can imagine Irwin Schiff was doing that. I mean, this Wallach is such a fucking cheap ass loser. I mean, he was doing this when the internet was around. So, but Irwin Schiff was doing this. I'm sure that's how he was getting his little gatherings. So you can imagine what the ad would be. Something like, you don't have to pay income taxes. You don't have to pay federal income taxes. All these claims. Come and find out. Irwin Schiff is going to present why you don't and should not pay federal income taxes. That's what his whole fucking spiel was, you all know. It was convincing people that there was no law on the books that required Americans to pay federal income taxes. If you can believe that one. Okay. And of course, this falls into, and that whole stupid nonsense falls into the whole evil Federal Reserve conspiracy and this and that and all this horseshit, buy gold, and and that all even falls into the cryptocurrency. Be your own bank. We want to get away from the government. Libertarians, right? The libertarian fucking scammers. And you got a lot of those fuckers now in Capitol Hill, the White House. Get rid of the regulations, right? Yeah, get rid of the regulations so we'll have a pollution crisis like they have in Asia, in China. They just had to close almost 400 schools in Bangkok last week. They had to shut almost 400 fucking schools. You know why? Because the goddamn pollution level was critical. It was that fucking dangerous. And you know why? Because there's no fucking environmental regulations there. Why do you think corporate America sent all the jobs to Asia? Not just cheap wages. No regulations. No environmental safety. No worker protections. No consumer protections. Folks, if you're in these countries, there's no consumer protections. I hope you know that. Corporations can make any claims. I mean, if you want to start, if you're a criminal and you want to start a, let's say, one of the oldest scams around, people selling miracle cures for baldness, right? Oh, it cures baldness, right? I mean, that's kind of like the whole, weight loss thing, right? Oh, I lose weight, baldness, right? Well, you can sell this shit in these countries, and you can make all types of false claims, create all the fake pictures in the before and after, and I'm telling you, there's absolutely no fucking repercussions. How do I know? Because I've fucking seen it. I've lived it. I've lived in these fucking countries, okay? I kid you not. That's what these fucking libertarians want. They want to tear down the regulations so the corporations can fuck you. And this addresses the billionaire criminals, the Kochs, right? Koch family and all these other fuckers. And then you got the small time swindlers out there who want to tear down the regulatory environment so it's more difficult for you to press charges against them when they fucking defraud you. Like Doug Casey in his bullshit real estate. He wants to sell people in Argentina. When you want to sue his ass, well, guess what? I'm sorry. No, they've torn down the regulations. Why do you think Andrew Henderson renounced his U.S. citizenship? He gave some fucking bullshit story. Folks, nobody is going to renounce their U.S. citizenship. Okay? It's a very strong fucking passport. Okay? He did it to avoid lawsuits because he's got people coming after him. Same reason why he incorporated his company in Hong Kong, because Hong Kong is a fucking scam center. I'm telling you, you may think I'm just shooting my mouth off. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Remember who the fuck I am. That's why it's important to check my track record. I'm the guy that's been accurate as fuck predicting the ups and downs on China for the past 20 fucking years. The boom and the bust. Okay? I know what's going on. And Singapore, with Jim Rogers touts, Singapore ain't a whole lot different. You think Singapore's clean as a fucking whistle just because you get fined $2,000 for polluting, for littering, or you get thrown in jail if you got pornography, or you get thrown in jail for criticizing the government? You think it's squeaky clean? Well, let me remind you who's basically in Singapore. Our friends in East fucking Asia. That's mostly who you have in Singapore. Got it? AKA Chinese. What do you think's going on? I guess some of you don't even understand how fucking corrupt it is in China, in Asia in general. It's corrupt as fuck. Okay? In fact, if you look at the corruption in America, just in the Trump administration, I mean, Trump should be under impeachment hearings right now. Trump should already be facing impeachment for what he's done. Completely been paid off. Got paid off by all these mega corporations. And one open and shut case, obviously, is TikTok, which he himself led the charge in his first term to get it shut down, to get it banned, because it was a national security issue. Now he gets $1 million donation, and now he wants to save it. Even though he himself has acknowledged it, and obviously he doesn't have to acknowledge it as a national security issue, because it fucking is. Anything coming from China is either a national security issue or a fucking health and safety issue. Okay, I've known this for 25 fucking years. I've been telling people for 25 fucking years, you better take a look at that back label and see where that's from, and see. In fact, I lectured somebody in the store Michael's just under 25 years ago. Michael's is an art supply store kind of a place, pretty big chain, and I remember seeing like little, I can't recall what it was, but little things for kids. And I looked in the back. This is the turn of the century, 2001, 2002, and I see Made in China. That's a pretty big fucking deal. Way back then, when China had just entered the World Trade Organization, and you already had, and Michael's at the time wasn't a huge chain. I mean, it was decent size, I guess. Much, much, much bigger. You already had them importing things for children from China. You all understand the health and safety issues in China? Yeah, I don't think you all understand what's going on in China. They have fake fucking food in buffets. You all don't even know. You all have no fucking idea. But anyway, let me get back now to Jim Rogers and this whole little anecdote. So Jim Rogers, his whole little pitch, and once again, Jim Rogers was basically done in America. Because Jim Rogers, of course, he wants to tell everybody his whole backstories. He retired in the 80s because he made so much money. Yet the guy hasn't been able to shut his fucking mouth up for more than 2 fucking minutes. You notice that he'll take any interview. In fact, some of you out there, why don't you get up off your fucking ass and check it out for yourself. Okay? He will be interviewed on a YouTube channel with 50 subscribers. Kid you not. I've seen it. Okay? Why? Because he knows how PR works. He knows how publicity and marketing works. It's all about getting his name out there. His name is on searches, this and that. Why? He sells his useless ass books. Oh, I cycled around the world. Who gives a fuck? Oh, a gift for my daughter. Hey, Jim, you're the investment legend. Why don't you write a book teaching people how to fucking get a competitive advantage in investing? Right? I mean, doesn't that stand to reason? He's never done that. Why? Because he doesn't have a competitive edge. He's a fucking clown. And if you don't believe that, all you got to do is look at his track record. I mean, people can say whatever the fuck they want. Oh, well, he did this, and I don't know. You want to tell me something happened 45, 40 years ago? Show me the fucking proof. I don't see no proof. All I know is the past 20 years, he's been opening his fucking mouth. He's been wrong 99% of the time. And that tells me right there the guy's a fucking clown. See, Jim Rogers never retired. He transitioned into the media. He'd been making all his money in the media. Trashing the U.S., trashing the stock market, pumping gold. So he's invited with high speaker fees to these gold conferences. So he gets paid to be on the boards of these shady-ass companies, many of which are scams. And I've documented all this stuff. That's what Jim Rogers' shtick is, okay? And I'm the only person in the world that's exposed it because I guess there's no one else fucking gets it. This whole network, this circle jerk of scammers like Rogers, it's a vast network. It includes tens, if not hundreds of thousands of kingpins. And then below the kingpins, you've got the minions, the Gen Y and Z fucking scammer wannabes. They're becoming scammers because they're learning from these guys. So you got the George Gammons out there. You understand. It's one big fucking circle jerk. When you think about these guys, I mean, I've exposed this whole fucking clan 15 fucking years ago. With thousands of articles and videos. So I know it. And this whole business model, this whole doomsday fear-mongering business model for which Andrew Henderson, by the way, jumped aboard. You understand where he fits now, right? This business model, it applies to all genres, by the way. Okay? It applies to all genres. It applies to cryptocurrencies. It applies to everything. It's not just the gold, silver bullshit. Okay? Once you understand how the gold, silver, charlatan crime network operates, and that means knowing all the players, knowing their fucking MO, seeing who they associate with, seeing how they manipulate people. And it's a vast, I mean, you're talking about something that's going on for decades. They've got a vast army of people pumping out fake reviews, fake comments. Oh, this guy's so great. You all don't know. It's a vast criminal network. So, well, gosh, why would they go to that effort? You're talking about billions upon billions of dollars that they're making. Okay? Pumping these junior minors. And now the big thing that Rick Rule, hey, Rick, you fucking prick. And someone tell Rick, you pseudo-intellectual piece of shit, 75 fucking years old or however old you are, something around that. Why are you still working, you fucking piece of shit failure? Loser, stop scamming people with your fucking bullshit, dude. I've had it with these motherfuckers. I've had it. I would, all these gold pumpers, and their little fucking hard assets, you name the big kingpins. I would take them all on live, one by fucking one on a neutral platform. I would fucking shellac the shit out of them because I know their whole fucking MO. Their whole MO. All of them. I already told you Jim Rogers. Rick Rule's involved in fucking front running and pump and dump. And they kind of get away with it with a legal disclosure. Oh, Rick Rule, the legend. What they make people think is he's a legendary investor. I've even heard people claim that Doug Casey's a billionaire. Oh, yeah, the billionaire Doug Casey, the great investor. He's buying this junior minor stock. You can get in on it too. You see how they work. And the stupid idiots don't realize it's a fucking pump and dump. And the thing is that you can't really go after these guys for that angle. Because they've disclosed it. They're telling you, hey, they own it. You see? Now, whether they can go after them for manipulation in terms of how the thing is, but they've got hitmen. They've got point men that go out and spook this shit. In fact, Larry Jones, you can take a look at the video. I don't know if I've released it today. It's going to be released. If it's not today, it's tomorrow. It's the third video maybe. I'm not sure. You can take a look. But I talk about he was pumping penny stocks. And one of the penny stocks he was pumping, I think was one of the penny stocks he was pumping, I think it was a gold stock. And I took a look because Larry Jones, and you can email the SEC, help@sec.gov. Email him, email him a link to my video. Where you have to find the right video because it shows that, first of all, I show in video that Larry Jones was not showing proper disclosure. Penny stock promotion is legal. It's disgusting. It should be illegal. But it's legal as long as you disclose your compensation. And you got to disclose it in the right format. You can't just post a link to another page. That's what Larry Jones did. And Larry Jones made $30,000 for that. Okay? He didn't disclose it. So the point is that when I looked at that link, and you'll see it on the video, it showed, see, this is what I'm talking about when you really get a good knowledge base of the whole fucking scamming army. Then you're going to see shit pop up and you're like, oh shit, I know this guy. I know the whole deal. Anyway, in the compensation disclosure for Larry Jones, it showed that the company that was compensating Larry Jones is called Future Money Trends. And I exposed this fucking fraudster a long time ago. This guy was working with Jonathan Ledbid back in 15, 16 years ago with the National Inflation Association fucking scam. Jonathan Ledbid, you can look up this guy. This guy's in the tribe, by the way, if you can tell by the last name. He was Jonathan Ledbid back 20 years ago or so, 25 years ago, was as a teenager, was manipulating stocks on chat boards. And he was caught by the SEC making a lot of money manipulating fucking penny stocks. And he didn't go to jail because he was too young. And you can see, as a result of that, what happened. No fucking punishment. You become a big-time scammer. National Inflation Association, he launched that during the financial crisis period to take advantage of all the Peter Schiff hyperinflation fucking bullshit that was pumped out there, getting people to think that America's going to be hyperinflation, buy gold. And so he created basically a penny stock pump and dump service. Anyway, the guy running Future Money Trends, And I actually did a video on him. You know, he got his kid to do a blackface thing, to wear blackface at the school to get kicked out so he could sue the school board in San Diego. I don't know if you all saw that video. Amaduri is his name. Daniel Amaduri. Complete fucking con man. He runs Future Money Trends. Future Money Trends, I think the channel's been taken down from YouTube because I contacted the SEC and informed these fucking stupid, dirty, rat, incompetent pieces of shit that this guy is on YouTube pumping penny stocks with no disclosure. But anyway, so what's he doing now? He's going to people like Larry Jones. So he's serving as an intermediary, this Future Money Trends guy. He's serving as an intermediary to get fucking stooges. You see? I mean, folks, this information I'm giving you is fucking world class. Nobody else knows all this shit. No one in the world knows this. The only people that are going to know this are the people that are going to listen to this. Because it's very fucking deal. This is what you call fucking major fucking legacy scam busting. Okay? This is devastating scam busting because I'm exposing the whole fucking grift, the entire fucking industry. You see, this is what's going on with these fake investment gurus now. They're working with guys underground. You see? But anyway, so Jim Rogers, his whole deal, of course, you know, we talked about how Jim Rogers was basically, he was shamed so bad for ridiculing, for disparaging this MBA student, which, you know, he got to teach some course at Columbia because, you know, supposedly he's a legend, right? Just like what's her name? Naomi Campbell taught a course at Harvard. You all know Naomi Campbell, the affirmative action model, right? You all know. But anyway, so Jim Rogers, you know, trashed this guy just for no reason at all. The email got out. This is back around 1998, something like that. You can look into it. And it set off a big fucking, it went viral. I mean, back when going viral was like extremely rare. You can imagine. Didn't have any social media or anything like that. And so basically, right around that time after that, Jim Rogers decided to pack up and move to Singapore. And he creates an excuse. Oh, well, China's the next place to be. It's a great place to be. Yeah. And Jim Rogers, he writes some book about pumping commodities. And guess what? The book hits the market like kind of close to the peak, right? Close to the fucking top. And he tells everybody he had to move to Singapore because he couldn't handle the pollution in China. Think about that for a second. If China's so fucking great, the place to be, and the pollution is already so fucking bad during the beginning of its great century, supposedly, and he can't stand to live there. Point is that, take a look. He tells you how great Singapore is, and then he comes to California and lectures this Singaporean lady because he's trashing Singapore. Right, he's telling you how bad the educational system is. You know, Singapore is supposed to have a great education. Folks, let me tell you something. The West has it all, okay? No fucking countries could compare to the West. I don't care what anybody... Oh, well, they score better on... It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We got the fucking best education in the world. Are all the schools good? No. You don't need to have everybody well educated. We have the best. That's why we have the best fucking innovation. Okay? Anyway... He tells this lady, he actually has the nerve, this piece of shit. You can tell it's kind of like a Robert Kiyosaki move. These guys are scum. They're scum people. They have, and the people that follow them, they think they're great people and great characters. Folks, a scam artist is a bad person. They have bad characters. And sometimes those characters show through. The cult members won't see it. But Jim Rogers told this lady, you know, if you like it, why don't you go back to Singapore? He actually had the nerve to tell this lady to go back to Singapore. Jim Rogers is a fucking permanent resident of Singapore. He lives in Singapore. He's always trashing the U.S. Think about that for a second. And none of these fucking tribal journalist pieces of shit have ever had the nerve to come up and say, Jim, you know, if you don't like the U.S., don't ever come back, right? You understand what I'm saying? Some poor lady who was just trying to defend her country. And Jim Rogers tells her to go back to Singapore, as if he fucking lives in America, when he's trashing Singapore on a different occasion. See that? He says Singapore education system sucks at both English and Chinese. I mean, you see that? But do you hear anything about that? No. All you hear is all these brain dead, stupid fucking scammers who want to get exposure and views. They don't care about the truth. They don't care about, presenting the reality. They don't give anybody the hard questions. Oh, Jim Rogers is a great investor. Oh, really? Let's see his track record. Oh, he moved to China because it's the next great place. Oh, really? No, China is fucking done. Okay? They're fucking done. You heard it first here. I already fucking came out with that a few years ago. They're fucking done. Yeah, they'll bounce back from this current issue. No doubt about it. But I can tell you right now, the Communist Party in China is on its way fucking out. It's a matter of time. It ain't going to be around. I think I'll live to see the day that the Communist Party's fucking done. Okay. Now, let's go on now with that little introduction here, because this is probably going to be pretty fucking long. And I invite some of you out there, if you're not too fucking useless, to take this stream, which is going to be very long, and chop it up into segments based upon topic, because I'm going to talk about several people. And most people aren't going to want to listen to 2 hours or 3 hours or 4 hours or 5 hours. I actually have a stream from 3 years ago, from 2022. I just saw it today. I didn't know about it. It's 7.5 hours long. So let's take a look now. Oh, here we go. Let me show you a few charts since we got talking about Jimmy Rogers. Of course, we can't forget Charlie Munger. Remember Charlie Munger? Folks, this is why it's so important to truly use your fucking brain, if you have one. And when someone comes out and tells you, hey, you know what? This is who I am. You haven't heard about me. I've been banned, but here's my work. I think it's important that you listen to me if you don't want to get fucked. This is who I am. Here's my track record. Look it up. Oh, and by the way, Alibaba is a fucking scam company, and you don't want to be buying that shit. You know what's going on in China, right? I warned everybody about Alibaba. I was warning about Alibaba 10 fucking years ago. I was warning about the shell company arrangement from China, because why? Well, because it's a communist country. You can't fucking own property. So they have to play a shell game, okay, and list kind of like fucking dubious shares in the Cayman Islands and other fucked up places, you see, but you don't own anything. And guess what? I'm wrong. Who am I? Oh, Charlie Munger. Why? Because these idiots, they believe the media. This is the dumb money. The dumb money is worried about what Michael Burry says. You know why? Because I said so. If I'm telling you Michael Burry is a fucking clown, you better believe he's a fucking clown. You got it? You understand? I'm the big swinging fucking dick. I know what I'm talking about. I haven't been proven wrong on anything yet when it comes to these fucking scammers and fraudsters and overhyped investors. Been proven wrong 0 times. And I'm talking almost 20 fucking years. Why? Because it's pretty fucking easy for me to see. Just like it was easy for me to see that Charlie Munger didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. So who's the big swinging dick? You got it? You got it? Or, how about this little image here? When all the geniuses were buying up J.C. Penney back, 17 years ago, 18 years ago, and I was fucking short. I actually did a presentation, a special presentation, where I specifically recommended shorting it, because I said they're finished. They're going to go bankrupt. They're not going to fucking make it, like Radio Shack and many others that I predicted. You see, it takes a fucking special talent to know about that, to understand the chances of a company turning around or, going into bankruptcy, right? And you can make a lot of money if you can do that. Take a look. George Soros buys 20 million. You can look all this up. You don't believe me. You think I just fucking made it up? You think I just put names there and all that? You can look it up and see. George Soros bought 20 million shares at average price of about $18. Okay, after I already recommended shorting it a year earlier. Okay, and remaining short. Now, I'm not going to get into a tutorial of shorting, but you don't necessarily. It's kind of like trading a stock that's in a bull run, right? You're not necessarily, depending upon your strategy, you're not necessarily going to hold the stock the full time. You're going to get in and get out when there's certain times. But shorting especially, because you're talking about margin and short interest. You see, and you can get fucking margin called. But the deal is that if you think the company is going bankrupt, you're going to keep a short bias. You're going to keep shorting it. You're going to cover it when it's going to rally, and you go back short again. Short, boom, boom, boom. That's how you short a long-term short fundamental play. But take a look. George Soros thought he knew. Yeah, it's a value play. It's good value, kind of like Bill Miller with all his fucking shit, which I already profiled that stuff. Fucking clown. And then Kyle Bass. Well, no, Bill Ackman. Bill Ackman comes in with 40 million. And then Kyle Bass sees those guys. And of course, Kyle Bass at this point just can't fucking win at anything. Everything he seems like he touches fucking blows up. So he wants to copy these guys. So Kyle Bass comes in and buys himself. I'm sorry. Yeah, Kyle Bass comes in, buys himself 5 million shares. And then all these guys basically sell when the thing drops down to $9, $8, $7. You see that? I mean, I don't know. Keep in mind, this was when, by the way, you might remember, I forgot the guy's name. Is it, I don't know, Ron Johnson or something? The guy from Apple Retail they got to turn JCPenney around, and he came in there and this is how I knew the company was finished. The guy came in there and everyone's, oh yeah, he's from Apple Retail, yeah, wow. He comes in there and he fucking completely ruins the stores. He like chops them all up and like has these little fucking kiosk areas and shit and like tries to sublease areas. And I'm like, this guy's a fucking idiot. And so anyway, yeah, I guess his career, well, who knows? He probably got some other job somewhere else. But so anyway, that's why it's important, folks. And I'm not perfect, of course, but I don't know. I haven't seen anybody else in the world, and I come across a lot of people who has my track record. So it's not to brag. It's all about understanding who you're going to fucking listen to when it comes to judgment. You understand? When it comes to judgment, judgment's the key. Understanding when you know you're right and when you know you don't know something, or when you know you're unsure. It's about judgment. You got it? Whether it's investment analysis or analysis of scammers and fraudsters. That's why it's important to really understand who you're listening to. Because if you think the media is going to tell you, right, they're going to identify all the people that are on your side telling the truth, they're all the great investors, or all the great this and that. That's a complete fucking scam. Okay? It's a complete lie. That's why all these guys in the media that are spending their time in the media all the time, they're all contrarian indicators and con artists. I mean, you can't show me a case where it's not true. I guess the only exception would be if they're kind of like stock pumpers, like they pump the stock market. You know, they're permanent bulls. They're all frauds. What they are. Okay. You see, this is why I expose all these people out there, because the media wants you to think they've got some guy out there who's going to make you rich, right? They're going to make you rich. That's why they're always telling you, he's a really smart guy. He's a smart guy. He's always right. Yeah. They don't talk about his full track record, whoever we're talking about, do they? Right? I mean, name a person. Name a person. You're not going to find a credible person that either knows shit or is going to help you that's going to come in the media. Now, on rare occasion, you're going to have a guy come there for FaceTime, just so he can show his face for free. He'll get money coming in. He's not going to fucking help you. Okay? But the guys that are coming in on a regular basis in the media, they're pretty much, that's their job pretty much. Whether it's Peter Schiff or Harry Dent or Mark Faber or Jim Rogers or even guys like Gary, what's his name? Gunluck, right? Bill Gross was also doing that before he was retired. You understand? These guys are all fucking clowns. I mean, take a look at their track records. It's no fucking coincidence. Think about it. And they're all related, by the way. You can't get in that gig if you're not blood fucking brothers. That's discrimination, by the way, in case you didn't know that. You don't hear anything about that. You've never heard about that, have you? Why is that? Well, if you're protected, you can do anything you fucking want. And you can get protected if you create some fucking narrative from a long time ago that didn't really fucking happen. So that you're protected. Because, wow, we're victims. You know. And they pull that same shit. They're pulling it all around the world as a way to weaken white people, to weaken and to take their assets. You know, kind of like, for instance, the indigenous people narratives, the American Indians, right? Oh, you did this to them. The indigenous people of Canada, of Australia, right? They're victims. Oh, you got to give them money. You got to do this, right? You all see what's going on. It should be pretty obvious what's going on. Okay. Hopefully, I describe that in a way that's not going to get the channel taken down. You kind of have to know what's going on. So let's go now. Let's see. Oh, let me show you some charts on Jim Rogers, and then we're going to go. And Jim Rogers, great track record. And by the way, Jim Rogers always pumping commodities, right? You know why? Because he's got his name licensed on a bunch of commodity ETFs. But of course, those ETFs now, pretty sure they're gone. They're fucking out of business. Okay? Because he was pumping them, right, for so long, and the commodities did nothing but go down. For more than 15 fucking years. They couldn't stay in business to enjoy this recent bout of inflation. See that? Another way he makes his money. How about all the farmers he says are going to be driving Lamborghinis, right? He told you that. Yeah. How come no one else in the world is exposing Jim Rogers, folks? I mean, why is it? I don't know. Either I'm wrong, people are too stupid, or it's a combination of people either being too stupid and there's no incentive. Right? It doesn't benefit them to expose him. You understand? They want to prop him up because he's already in the Superman status. You understand Superman, right? That's what the media does. It creates, I made that video, Superman, song Superman. I think it flew past the heads of most of these fucking people. Most people don't even understand it. They're so fucking stupid. The media creates investment Superman, every single genre that they have in Hollywood, right? And they have, now they have the doctor shows and all these scammy shows. They're all gurus. Superman Stathis, tune into them so they make money from ads, right? That's why they tell you all these guys are legends. So there's no incentive for anyone out there to expose Jim Rogers because they'd rather have him on their show because he's got Superman Stathis, so people are going to watch the show. It's going to generate ads for them, and they can sell them their scammy courses and everything else. You understand? That's what we're talking about, folks. There's no real truth out there. Ad-based content has poisoned the soul of all these people, and it gets much worse than that. Why to invest in Russia? 2012. Did I show you the ruble, by the way? See that? These are all quotes from Jim Rogers. You can look them up. That's the only good thing about ScamTube is that you can go back and archive old interviews and news stories to show the track record of these scam artists. It's funny because, and all these gold pumpers were out there 2010, 2011, talking about how the commodities were going through the roof. Chris Martenson, the coronavirus conman fraudster, piece of trash, Rockefeller guy, works for the Rockefeller Foundation, complete scam artist. This guy was telling you that oil's going to $200 or $300 a barrel, right? I was the only person in the world that I know of that was coming out saying the commodities bubble is going to collapse during that period. And that's exactly what fucking happened. How did I know that? Well, because I knew that the whole economy had been reinflated after the financial crisis. Anyway, so let me go ahead now. Look at this piece of trash. So let me go ahead now and yeah, of course, Chris Martin's another. He's on his little YouTube channel. Total fucking scam artist. As a reminder, Chris Martinson, what he does with Adam Taggart, every video is about how the U.S. economy is bad, stock market's bad, it's risky out there, right? Same with Adam Taggart, Wealthion. That's the whole business model. Folks, you don't have, none of these channels are news. None of them are, they're all scams. You understand? They're giving you the same message. There's no open portal for debate. And they don't even challenge these people. You understand? I exposed this. I detected this many years ago. They're all cheerleading channels. They're all manipulation. And that makes them fraudsters.
We're all sometimes unreasonably influenced by appearances. That is one reason we might fall for an investment fraud. Con artists are experts in creating the right appearance. They're not going to stand out as the crooks they really are. Con artists not only look good, but are usually skillful and fast talkers, fulfilling the image of how we expect a successful business person, in whom we can trust, to appear. They will fit the role of the expert who can deliver that unbelievable rate of return or get-rich-quick deal. One way you can help protect yourself from fraud is not to trust appearances.
If I had come on your show every week for 100 weeks in a row and everything I said to you was wrong, would you keep me on your show? Would you have any confidence in me? Would you listen to me?
Man. flying in my super wet underwear.
I can see my house from here.
Yeah, let's party hardy over there. Superman, man, Superman, man.
He's got sexy X-ray eyes, and his legs are really nice. Oochie coochie in the sky.
And I'm kissing for the very first time.
It's Superman, super duper man, flying in to see me from Superland. Come on, Superman, super duper man, take me for a joyride, 'cause I know you can. Can I touch
Superman, man.
Can I touch your tingling?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Superman, man, Superman, man.
Superman,
Superman, man.
Superman,
Superman, man. Superman, man, Superman, man.
Superman is on the air.
I'm flying in my super red underwear.
His sexy dress is turning me on.
I feel kinda hot when I'm putting it on.
He's got sexy X-ray eyes, and his legs are really nice. Oochie coochie in the sky,
And I'm kissing for the very first time.
'cause he's Superman, super duper man, flying in to see me from Superland. Come on, Superman, super duper man, take me for a joyride, 'cause I know you can.
Superman, man, Superman, man.
I can see my house from here.
Yeah, let's party hardy over there.
Can I touch your tingling?
You make Superman go super swing.
He's got sexy X-ray eyes, and his legs are really nice. Oochie coochie in the sky,
And I'm kissing for the very first time.
'cause he's Superman, super duper man, flying in to see me from Superland. Come on, Superman, super duper man, take me for a joyride, 'cause I know you can. Superman,
Superman, man.
Superman,
Superman, man.
Superman is on the air.
I'm flying in my super red underwear.
I can see my house from here.
Yeah, let's party hardy over there. Superman, man, Superman, man.
He's got sexy X-ray eyes, and his legs are really nice. Oochie coochie in the sky,
And I'm kissing for the very first time.
Superman, super duper man, flying in
Con artists are experts in creating the right appearance. They're not going to stand out as the crooks they really are. Con artists not only look good, but are usually skillful and fast talkers, fulfilling the image of how we expect a successful business person in whom we can trust to appear. They will fit the role of the expert who can deliver that unbelievable rate of return or get-rich-quick deal.
If I had come on your show every week for 100 weeks in a row and everything I said to you was wrong, would you keep me on your show? Would you have any confidence in me? Would you listen to me?
terms of getting back as an investor, if it's coming down to here, almost irrespective of what's going on, I have to believe, if I have to make a call in advance, and of course I can change depending on what happens, but I have to believe this is where you want to start doing that 18, 17, around there. Their earnings report is a complete game changer, at least for quite a while. Bottom line, NVIDIA now is going to enter the realm of Tesla, Apple, and all these other big, I mean, listen, NVIDIA can come down to 150, come down to $100. If you don't think it's possible, then you don't understand how the market works. I mean, listen, NVIDIA can come down to 150, come down to $100. If you don't think it's possible, then you don't understand how the market works.